welcome back to Amion, Easy Rollers D&D. We are on episode 32. We are unfortunately down a Bana this evening, but never mind. We are still here as a threesome. There is myself, your friendly neighbourhood Dungeon Master, James and Corbs. And we are going to crack on with episode 32 and continue exploring Port Horizon. Here is the recap. Last episode, the party began to investigate further the high taxation and how it was affecting the locals, particularly those of the Amber Quarter. Many conversations were had, notably of Ashani and Zubar Pemuru, both members of the Broken Chain, but with radically different ideas on how to solve the problems in Port Horizon. They also met with some of the traders and had their magic items identified. Sorry, I decided to eat some walnuts before we started, and now my mouth's really dry. 2 seconds. Anyway, Gottel wrote a letter to Theronax to request an audience. Finally, before retiring, they discovered that the council's secretary had information about someone leaking info, and that there were shipments coming and going, always protected by the Brass Guard. When they did retire, Rodeo seemed to upset an old crone by drinking from the fountain in the Red Oasis, and Gottel was alerted to a strange group of creatures in an underground tunnel complex beneath the city. This is where we pick up the action this evening. And top tip for DMs, do not eat walnuts before you start talking. My mouth is drier than Gandhi's flip-flop. I'm choking on husks.
You're eating the wrong bit of the walnut.
I think so. My God, it's
Don't eat the shell.
It's just there, built up. Anyway, yes. I leave it over to you.
When the DM has to take a constitution check in the morning.
It's over to you. As I said, we are, listeners, watchers, we are down a Bana, so I am going to be running Opal's character this evening. But yeah, you've explored many avenues and have many questions that need answering.
If I remember rightly, Rodeo and Opal are in bed.
Yes, it was the evening. You are both in bed asleep. I don't know. You bought 2 separate rooms, if I remember correctly. Yeah. You are both in bed asleep, and it was Gottel's sentry mode that was disturbed.
That's right. I mean, these creatures that we sort of saw, or that I saw in the sentry mode, did I particularly see them, close? Were they buggering about, or was it just a fleeting glimpse?
Well, you didn't see them. It was Ashani that sort of found you out and disturbed you.
We heard something, didn't we?
You didn't. No, she did down in the tunnels beneath.
Oh, she heard it, right? Sorry.
And she came to you and said that her and her group discovered something in the tunnels, and it was shouting yip yip.
Got you at that point. Oh dear, yip yip.
But you were in the well, let's not call it what we know it as. You were in the Fairly Great Inn.
Yes, the pub. Hey, after everyone else has gone to bed.
Yeah,
access to all the taps. Lovely.
That's right.
Well, I guess I'll ask Ashani if she felt particularly threatened by the yip yippers.
She'll say, yeah, well, look, bruv, we didn't really stick around. We just heard them, and we sort of tried to hide away and see if we could see them. And they were these little. They looked like. How do I describe them? They weren't particularly tall. Maybe 4 foot tall, I'd say.
Right.
Brass, golden. They were like little lizard men.
Little lizard men. Well, that's just grand. And how many of them were there?
There were 8 of them in total. Most of them were. Well, they were pretty much all just wearing pretty loose linen clothing, stuff to keep cool with, really. You know,
Right.
they
I don't know.
dress for desert life, but you'd have thought lizards would be quite at home in the desert.
Well, you would, don't you?
Well, yeah,
Sorry,
you
I'm
would,
having
really.
trouble with my character sheet coming up, so I'm trying to do two things at once.
That's all
My
right.
character sheet died, and now I'm trying to bring it back up again. Not that. That's not a character sheet.
If I log out and go back in, mate, being beyond playing up.
That's what I'm doing. But I then mistakenly logged in with my email address, which is, of course, how I get to my son's D&D Beyond account, because... I'm sick. Right. Let's sign out. Sorry about this. I'm having terrible trouble remembering who I am.
That's all right. I'm probably going to end up having to log into something in a minute myself and end up with problems, so I wouldn't worry too much.
I'll try signing in with Twitch instead. There we go. No. Well, I'm just going to have to improvise for now because I can't get to the character sheet because it keeps sending through to my son's. Oh no, it's logged me in. That's okay. Bloody hell, that's difficult.
Have you got it on?
Yes, I've got it. I'm in my own account now, and not my son's.
Okay.
Oh, surprised. There we go. Of course, Christ hasn't been born yet in this particular neck of the woods, so that's all right. So these little things in scales and shirts were whipping around, and you didn't stick around to see what they were up to.
Well, they just seem to be exploring. Like, I mean, we've never seen them down there before. These tunnels are quite extensive. We've only really explored the bits we need to. They could have come from anywhere, but they seem to be like us. They seem to just be, well, not like us actually, because we know our neck of the woods, but they were just exploring,
Right. Did you hear them say anything?
Well, that's the funny thing. They were talking this weird language, and then they did say words in normal language.
Right.
And it was stuff like just have a look over here, have a look over there. Anything tasty.
So just, foraging around, seeing if they can find a sandwich. It's typical late night behaviour.
Pretty much. I'm not saying they're up to no good. I'm just saying we don't know who they are.
Right, well, do you want to know who they are?
Well, I mean, they're in our tunnels, aren't they?
They are in your tunnels. They are. Maybe it might be worth going waking the others up. Just for the fun of it, because I don't have to sleep. So it'd be quite amusing. I don't think that... oh, God, I've forgotten the name, because she's not here.
Opal?
She's not got a character name in chat. Opal, that's the one. I don't think Opal needs to sleep a lot either, being dead and all that.
She's dead?
Well, not dead, no, that's the wrong word. Don't worry about that. Let's go and wake the other fella up, Rolio.
Do you not want to get your other friend, Opal?
Well, she's probably already awake. We can just give her a knock on the way past.
Alright, okay.
You go and knock on her door, I'll go and wake up the other flesh bag.
Cool. She rushes off. Well, she doesn't actually know where Opal's staying, so she'll probably go,
Right.
But I don't know where she is, so maybe if I come with you and then we can all figure it out together.
She's probably next door to Rolio. If not, we'll just wake a load of people up until we get there. I mean, there's only so many rooms in the pub, isn't there?
It was several floors.
It's fine. I never went upstairs to see what rooms they were in, so I don't care.
Oh shit, you don't know where they are either. Okay.
No, I got no idea at all.
Let's do some dice rolls, shall we?
Go on then.
Rolio. Roll me a dice. D20.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell us the answer. Gossel, roll a D20. I want Rolio to tell us when he gets it right.
Right, I'm going to start with room number 2.
Room number 2. You are pounding on the door.
Hello,
This is
Rolio.
the wee hours. Half
Rolio, it's time you
naked,
get up for a wee.
half naked dwarf comes to the door. What the bloody hell do you want? What are you doing?
Oh, sorry about that. I'm looking for Rolio and Opal. They're colleagues of mine, and I don't know what room they're in.
Oh, I don't fucking know who they are. Fuck off.
Sorry about that.
He
But you
slams
might
the
want to
door.
take the time to think about your, coming to the door with no trousers on. That's something you
I
definitely
said
need to
he's half
review.
naked. I didn't say that he was like bottom half naked.
I chose the half.
Okay.
Right, I'll try a different door then. I guess. I mean,
We know you
2,
can disregard 2 now because you've been to 2.
4 seems like a good number to go after that.
You bang on the door number 4. There's no answer.
Bugger it, there's nobody in, unless they're deaf. Rolio, where far art thou, Romeo? I'll try number 6.
Are you shouting, Rodeo?
No.
I am shouting Rolio.
Give us a perception check, Rodeo.
Fine.
9 was that?
13.
Oh, 13. You hear some commotion in the corridor. What room did you say you were banging on?
6.
6. This half-orc female comes out, and she's totally naked.
Sorry about that. That's the wrong door. Good night to you.
Oh, what did you want?
I'm after Rolio and Opal, but you're not them, so that's all right.
Oh.
Would you
what-
like some brasso?
I don't know what that is, but you woke me up now if you want to come in.
No, it's okay. Thank you. I'm just at the wrong level for this conversation.
Oh, I'd say you're at the right level for this conversation.
Good night to you. I'll just try Do you know if not anyone's in number 8?
Oh, yes.
Right, I'll go and knock on number 8 then, see if I can wake them buggers up.
It's not your friend, no.
All right, is it not?
No, it's a lovely bugbear. Oh, he was entertaining me earlier.
All right, well, I'll leave him asleep then. He's probably tired.
Maybe. You might have some more energy if you need it.
No, it's absolutely fine. If it's a bugbear, I don't need to be waking him up at the moment. Although maybe later. I'll get Rolio to knock on. Anyway, I'll try what was it? Number 10 was the next number after that then. I'll leave the bugbear to sleep.
Yeah, you go to number 10.
It's going to be number 1.
You've heard him shouting in the corridor. You can literally tell us that you're coming out at any point to stop him. But
Yeah,
he bangs on number
Also-
10.
I'm going to come out at number 1.
Okay, so Gotto bangs on number 10. The door opens. You look down the corridor as you hear the other door open, and Rodeo perhaps sticks out and goes, "Oh, hey!" At which point you see this rather large muscled arm pull Gossel into the room.
Oh, I'm going to chase that down.
The door slams shut, and you hear a lock. Ching! Gossel, you are faced with a couple of fairly muscular dwarven people, a man and a woman, but you can't tell them much apart because the woman is bearded.
But surely she's the one with pink ribbons and a beard.
It's the bosom that gives it away more than anything. But
Well, I'm not sure I could see that through the beard.
But the bloke goes, "Hello there, are you the entertainment we sent for?"
No, I'm your early morning alarm call. It's time to think about getting up.
Aye, it is time to think about getting up. You're going to help me get up.
No, I'm not built for that kind of thing.
And the woman goes, "Go on, dear, get him on the bed now."
No, it's okay, so don't worry about that.
"I've got the lard."
That won't help you at all, I'm afraid.
What are you doing, Rodeo?
In a minute, I'm going to launch vicious mockery at you.
Door.
I can see exactly what you pack in, and it's not very No, it's no wonder you're having to send out for takeaway.
He drops his pants, and you're quite impressed because it does roll out quite far. Not enough to slap on the floor, but for a dwarf, he's.
Yeah, but that's only because he's got short legs.
He looks at you and goes, "Right then, lad. Let's get to it, shall we?"
Well, it's not a lot you're going to get to it because I'm a solid-built, solid-bodied warforged. You know, there's not exactly anything you can do with it.
Well, what are you doing here then? Why have you come into my room?
I
Why
didn't come into your
knocking?
room. You dragged me in. That was your early morning alarm call.
Well, this is
It's early
disappointing.
morning. It is early morning.
Disappointing. This is disappointing. Who's your boss? We're gonna have to make a complaint about this. And she's, oh yes,
I'll
we're gonna
send
have to
him
make a
along.
big complaint.
I'll send him along to you presently. Don't you worry. It'll be 2 minutes.
Right. Well, I expect you do. Yeah, go on, get out of here. I'm disappointed now.
Right. Okay. Excuse me. Would you mind unlocking the door so I can get out there to tell my boss to come down here
You
and
can
smooth it all over for you?
You can unlock the door. You don't unlock doors, surely. Your room
Okay.
service.
Thank you. I'll just do that. Well, you know, I got a pass key and everything. And so I'd open the door. Rollior, you just wanted down here at number 10.
Yeah, nah.
Well, you don't know what's in the room. You've got no reason to be like, no.
Fine. I'm gonna walk down.
Let's go straight in. They'll sort you out straight away. Don't worry about that. I'll go and find out. You know what room Opal's in?
Number 3.
Number 3, I'll go and wake up Opal. You sort these two out, and I'll see you in a while.
All right. So, Rodeo goes into the room. The door slams shut. Let's have a strength save, please, Rodeo.
Roll 17 minus 116.
-1.
In strength, yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's wisdom building.
Gossel, you hear a lot of shouting, followed by probably some muffled. Basically, you're glad you're not Rodeo.
Great.
Don't forget to use the lard.
You find Opal in her room. She's, oh hi, Gossel. What can I do for you? It's the middle of the night.
I know, but that doesn't matter for you, does it? Because you know your vampire thing. You don't sleep.
I do sleep.
Well, you're not sleeping now.
No. Well, no.
Anyway, this creature's downstairs maneuvering around in the middle of the night, and I thought, well, I better wake you up to investigate it because I didn't want to go down on my own. I mean, you know, got to have my flesh shield. Got to have my friends with me.
Okay, I get dressed and I come with you.
Okay, are you coming via the valleys or the hills?
Neither. just give me a minute to get my clothes on, not my pajamas.
I'll give you a minute to get your accent out, and I'll see you downstairs in a minute.
It
Bring
is-
Rolio, or what's left of him.
Opal's gonna listen back to, or Bane's gonna listen back to this and be like, "What the fuck? This is the best I can do." Okay, I have a sore throat. This is the best you're getting.
I'm loving it. I think it's fantastic.
So you're in the lobby. Eventually, Opal joins you, dressed. Rodeo hobbles down, probably clutching at his nether regions. Or does he? I don't know. You tell me what happened in that
No.
room.
I think he would have lost his temper and probably guiding lighted one of them.
Did you just do a murder?
No. Maybe.
Oh,
No. I
right.
would have.
But notes are being
No.
made about this.
I wouldn't have murdered him. No. I would have. I don't know. How much
Gently
HP does the...
dissuaded him with overwhelming force.
I would have threatened with magic. I wouldn't have... Yeah, we'll do the threaten with magic. I wouldn't have murdered.
Threatened. Okay.
Hmm.
I initially wrote Rolio hurt sexy dwarven couple.
No.
Right, okay, threatened.
Would dwarven swingers be scrapers?
Oh.
This is the problem without Boehner here. We've descended into boy madness.
Yes.
Sorry about that. You started it. I just followed it through.
Yeah, true. Cool. So, yes, you're all ready to set out. It's the wee hours. No one's particularly had a long rest, but I don't think you really needed it anyway.
Just be thankful I didn't send you into number 6, Rolio.
Aye, well, you could have given me a heads up beforehand.
You put
Very
your head
handy.
up.
No.
Jesus. I mean, that's adventurous.
I'm never going in that room again.
All right, don't knock on number 8.
Okay.
Right.
It's
There
quite
you
noisy
are.
on this corridor at night.
Well, it will be. The great big she-orc, a bugbear, and 2 dwarven swingers. I think you've come to a convention or something.
I think so.
Listen, I used to work in a particularly a branded hotel, let's say, and I did a couple of night shifts to cover the reception desk when I was a high-up manager. You'd be surprised at what goes on in a hotel in a city centre at night.
I've stayed at a hotel in a city centre, and nothing goes on at all. It's completely dead.
It depends on whether you're in the room and you're minding your own business, or you have to do corridor walks for security checks. Then you know what's
guess
going
so.
on.
I guess so. Got to watch out for these conventions and things.
Anyway, what is the intention? You would like to check out these tunnels of Ashani?
Yeah.
I think
we'll
so,
follow
because
it down
Ashani
the line.
seemed a little bit concerned there, didn't she?
Yeah, so she said, "All right,
There we go.
she said, let's go to the entrance by the fountain. That's where we came up. Are you ready to go?"
Yeah. After you.
Opal said, "I think so."
Fire away.
She leads you off down to the Amber Quarter. You go to the fountain where you saw Zubar. Had a chat with him, and she lifts up the hatch door by the fountain into the tunnels, and in you go. And these tunnels, they're all lit by torches and sconces. There's candles in like recesses in the walls. It's all very well lit. It's well used by these local sort of what would you call them? Militia. Yeah, the broken chain. This little political party, splinter fraction, what are you gonna call them?
Sounds like a toilet repair service.
The broken chain. Yeah, they could be a broken toilet repair. Maybe that's what they do from underneath. They fix the pipes from underneath the buildings.
It's a gang of rogue plumbers. It's the A-team.
Hopefully none of them are called Mario.
They couldn't hit any of them with a banjo, but there you go.
She leads you along, and she's just. I don't know where they might be. It's been an hour or so since we were here, so I don't know where they might be. Just keep your ears open.
Which way were they headed?
Well, they were just coming along the corridor here, and it's literally just a series of corridors underneath the city, and it just has always like random rooms coming off. And you see like the rooms have different stores for different places. So, for example, let's pick on the Take Piss Tannery. He might have a storeroom down here, and it's got his name on it, his store name on it, and the room's full of barrels of urine and other things for tanning hides, and there's hanging levers and stuff like that. And all the traders.
Night soil, I think they call it.
Is it night soil? Is it?
In the tannery business, night soil is the thing they combined with the urine here.
Oh, okay.
Make the ammonia.
Well, Well, there you go. We've all learned something this evening. Basically, some of the traders have these little storerooms. There's other various rooms down here. And they were like along there, but I lost track of them because I came running out. And I told everyone else to get out just in case they were dangerous. Someone make me a perception roll. Anyone can make a perception roll.
19 plus 2.
Okay, that's great.
22, sorry. 22.
As you've made a survival, a perception roll, Got will make a survival roll.
Survival roll. Hang on a second.
Just see if you can do any tracking on the ground.
That would be a 21.
Cool. So, Rodeo, you're kind of like having a good listen. You go, I think I can hear something down here, and then Gottl's sort of looking. Oh yeah, there's footprints, and they're like these little four-toed prints on the ground.
They are quite lizardy.
There's a lot of them. Unlike sand people, they don't walk single file. They're all over the place. So you think there's bloody hundreds of them. And she's like, there's definitely only 8.
Only 8.
Only 8 of them.
Only 8.
Only 8.
It's not exactly only, is it? They were how tall? About 4 foot tall, you say?
Yeah, about the same sort of size as you, really.
Oh, so that's 8 exceptionally well built lizardy things, you know. Quite a lot.
I've just got to. One thing that slipped my mind was getting the stat blocks for them.
Yeah.
Just in case you decide to attack them. Well, I'm not saying you will.
Well, we might not have to, you know. You never know. It depends. You're not, you're not all mad hobos.
Sneak down there.
Break into amorous couples' rooms and threaten them with magic.
There's one. I can't remember which book the other one was in. Volo's Guide, I suspect, has the other one.
Shall we sneak around and see if we can, pick up on their trail from a distance, like?
It's actually it's really difficult because they are literally walking all over the place. But you can, with both tracking and perception, 1, 6, 5, you can in fact sort of work out where they are, and you sort of follow the corridor down. It sort of twists and bends here and there. That's the ones I want. And you come to a room, you can hear some sort of like ransacking going on and sort of the sounds of feasting. They seem to have come on a storeroom that's got food in it, basically. And you sort of hear a mixture of, oh, yep, oh, my, this tasty food. Oh, the boss would like this. Mmm. Wine, oh, yep, yeah, you.
Right,
Do we
they're on the
want to
pace.
just scare them off, or?
Well, we could ask them what they're doing. I mean, it's not our supplies. We don't care.
This is true. It's it's just one exit in and out of that room.
Yeah. It's a corridor, and it's like a hobbit hole. Each room literally joins the corridor. There's no other ways in and out of it.
Right. Okay. Should we knock on the door politely?
Oh,
Like
there's no door. It's an open doorway.
I would press it.
I was going to say quickly for your reference, Ishani will tell you that these tunnels were built around the same sort of time as the city originally sort of built up, and they are basically old smugglers' tunnels and a mixture of old smugglers' tunnels and like sewage systems and stuff like that.
Yeah. Possibly a bit of the original city. Cities tend to get built on top of themselves after a while. I mean, I could press the digitate and knock.
Yeah, go for it. Get their attention. We don't want to scare them. I guess.
Okay,
before we
so
get more
press
information.
the digitator to knock on the door.
Yeah. Well, I said there is no door, but you could
No,
probably
but I'm doing the sound of a knock.
mimic the
So
sound
press
of
the
a
digitator.
knock on the door, and you just sort of hear they all the action in the room just stops, and they sort of oh, yo, what was that? What was that? Boss, what was that? Yo, go look, go look.
Hello there. Hello. Hello in there. Hello, you're right there, so.
I hear voices. And you see
Oh, just
you're in the corridor. Perhaps you saw like ducked behind a crate or something, and you see this little draconic shaped head, like brass goldy sort of scales, sort of look out from around the corner, and it looks around and goes, "Hello."
hello there, mighty warrior.
Oh. He sort of pokes his head back in. They know us, mighty warrior. Yeah, yeah. And he sort of sits his head back up. Oh, hello?
Hello, Bloodwet. How? Wait, no.
They're not all. What is wrong? They're not all Welsh.
Hello. Well, I don't know. Hello, what are you doing in the storerooms here? What are you doing? Knocking around, disturbing people.
Disturb? No, no disturbing people. No. Eating. Food. Food good.
Food is good. What is it? Your food?
Is it your food?
No, it's not my food.
Then who cares? Food. We are
Good
hungry.
point. You got. Where are you from?
Ah. And he sort of disappears back in his room. They want to know where we're from. Oh, yeah. From. And he sort of sticks his head back out. Not important.
That's a strange country. Is that not important? An island, or is it a peninsula, or is it part of a mainland somewhere?
Near here. Not Importanceville.
I see, not importance for me here. And, quite sort of, dragony there. Do you
Yes.
serve a dragon by any chance?
His head pokes back in. And he goes, yep. He sends his head back out. What dragon?
What?
What's dragon?
Do you serve a dragon?
No. Is there dragon here?
Where?
If there's dragon, we serve the master.
The master? And who's the master?
Well, is there dragon here?
Is the dragon here?
If there's dragon here, we serve the master.
Well, there's not a dragon here in this room, but there is a dragon here in the town.
Oh. And he disappears again. And you hear, yip, and then a lot of excited, yip. And he comes out, who is dragon?
Oh, Rolio, can you help me out with the dragon's name there? Because is it Rolleiflex or Rolex? Theronax. I knew it sounded like an indigestion remedy.
Oh, Theronax.
Theronax, he's on the council here, but, maybe you should go and make his acquaintance there.
Oh, yes, good idea.
If he needs any gophers.
Theronax.
Quite a mighty dragon by all accounts,
He leans back into the room and goes, Theronax, and you hear an excited bunch of, oh, yip.
Is there anything you want to ask them, Rolio? Because, I'm a bit stumped. I've lost the will to live with talking to these fellas,
Who's in charge?
In charge?
Yeah, of you currently. You said the boss would be happy. Who's the boss?
Ah, I am boss.
Right, so it was your idea to come down here?
I made a deception roll. You can tell he is lying through his teeth.
All of them.
All his teeth.
Right.
I am boss, yes! I come down here. I want food.
You're too small to be the boss.
Ah, no.
Yes. Boss is big.
I am big.
I am stand up tall. You're not big. Where's the boss?
You see him start to kindle some magic in his hands. I am boss.
Your name's Hugo.
Is that where we're going to roll initiative?
I was asking him if his name was Hugo.
No.
What is your name?
My name
Oh, great warrior.
is Yabab.
And how do you spell that?
Yub, YB.
Yes.
Yub, YB.
Yeah.
BU. BU. Bub. B. Yub, bub.
Right, well, that is. Yeah, it is a mighty name there. I've not heard that one before. That's a new one on me.
Yub, bub.
So you must be a mighty. You must be a mighty warrior.
Very mighty.
I mean, were you named on one of those old-fashioned telephones where you had to put the 2p in and the pips went?
Maybe.
You lot won't know what that is.
I know what you mean.
Phones with pips.
I know what you mean. Whether our
Right,
audience
well-
knows what you mean, I don't know, but
Well, they probably won't. They're all, youngsters. I am sure. I remember. Oh, never mind. Right. Well, we know that you've come down for food. You're not doing any particular harm. Is there any particular reason that you're in the city other than looking for food?
he sort of snuffs out the spell that he was sort of hanging on to. Oh, we just scouting.
Scouting. You're a scout leader.
Yeah, boss. Yeah, boss.
You're a boss of the scouts. I like that. Well, is there another boss who's not as important as you? I was thinking dib, and dub, and all that sort of stuff. But is there a boss who's not as important to you who might have suggested that you come in and scout for them because they're not good at scouting?
No, boss. But dragon here. We find the dragon.
Oh, you're looking for the dragon.
Well, now you say there's a dragon here, yes?
Well, there is a dragon here.
Then we look for dragon.
Well, we could tell you where the dragon is.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, what would you give us for this information?
And he leans back into the room. Yep. And he leans back out and says, we not give you nothing. Your lives. You keep your lives.
Keep us alive, well, I've got work myself now. I don't know why I did that.
We've got nothing. We have nothing to give. So we give you your lives. I am powerful warrior, as you say.
Well, indeed, that's right. Right, just let me confer with my friend to make sure I'm giving you the right location there. You just tell them the council buildings and let them go up, because, it's better than having them ferreting around here and whittling in the cheese and all that sort of stuff.
I think
Yeah,
Opal
for them ferreting around town.
will say, I think we maybe kill them.
Yes, I think Opal would probably try and kill them. But we're trying to wean her off that at the moment.
Think of all the blood.
It'd be cold blood. Surely
I mean,
cold blooded.
I mean, would a dragon be pissed off if there were a horde of kobolds murdered in the undercrofts? Do dragons like kobolds as much as kobolds like dragons? I don't know.
Well, if he did, he would already have them under his charge, surely.
Ashani's also here, and she'll say, "What are they doing here? Where have they come from?"
Well, they won't tell us where they've come from. I don't think they know exactly where they've come from, they know. But they're scouting for something.
If they're scouts, they must know where they've come from. There must be something more. Innit, bruv?
Well, that's right. So if we introduce them to the dragon, you see, what they'll do is they'll immediately start serving the dragon, and therefore not serve the people that they're scouting for. So they'll stop scouting.
Is that what they do?
Well, generally they do like to serve the odd dragon, you know, these little fellas.
But if they... How do they not serving a dragon already?
Well, it's a good point. They might be serving a dragon already, but they might just be serving someone who's a little tiny bit stronger than they are. Not always the bravest fellas in the world.
I don't know much about these things. I know that we all know it's the worst kept secret in Port Horizon. Theronax is a red dragon. We all know that.
Well, we know that, yes.
And there was a green one that came here not so long
There was.
ago.
They didn't stay long, did they?
No, but I didn't go to school
Can't remember
much.
what they were called either.
I seem to recall there were only 3.
There's only
That was
3
more.
dragons.
There were only... I seem to remember Grandad said there were only 3.
Well, 3 that he knew of, maybe. You know, there was Ribena, Lady Alora, and Theronax. Wasn't Ribena. It was something
He
else.
said the old tales. That old woman, she hangs around in the pub a lot by that fountain. She was saying about there weren't many. There were only like a handful.
I think there might have been more than 3. Do you remember when we went to those dragon summoning stone things? I'm sure, did we not speak to more than 3 of them?
No, we only spoke to one.
We only spoke to one, and that was the one that begins with an R, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whose name was something or other.
Maybe we
Rubik's
just bought a new
Cube.
table. Yeah, Rubik's Cube. No, I'm quite happy with that one.
It's not Rubik's Cube, but it's
Not
not
Rubik's
anything like that either.
Shani's just looking at you puzzled. But Opal will say, "Do you mean
Rondiff. It was
Rondiff.
Rondiff. There we go.
Yeah, wonder.
That's it, Rondiff.
You
I
gave
remember
her a
that because
cow. You gave her a cow."
We did give her a cow. We did. Well, you know, Rolio did for some reason.
It's
I don't know. It's
customary. She's my dragon for where I live.
that's it. It's Rondiff, the transmission dragon.
Opal will probably say, I seem to remember when we were at the Dragon Shrine that we spoke to Rondiff, and Elora
Right.
said there were only a couple of dragons.
Well, I mean, did we get much more out of Alora than
No, look, it looks like they went to St. Ives in Cornwall.
Where are they from? Come on! Back to the 70s. There we go.
Apologies, this is
you
what
know-
happens when you don't have a female in the party to stop you from being silly.
Back into Monty Python, and away we go. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Well, possibly copyright. But apart from that,
I don't think they would mind.
no. Great. So we got no way of communicating with Rondiff anymore over this distance. So the nearest dragon who could sort these fellas out is Theronax.
But we haven't got
The only-
any way to get to Theronax ourselves at the moment. So what, use the kobolds as a bargaining chip?
I mean, we could, you know, go to Theronax at the council meeting and slip him a note or something.
Might I remind you
Saying,
of
did you
the
know?
letter that Gottel wrote to him?
I did write a letter.
You did?
There.
Yeah, you did.
Theronax. Could write him another one. Got plenty of paper and ink.
Yeah, it was only a couple of hours ago.
What's going on?
We're trying to come up with an idea of how to give you the very best introduction to the dragon.
Alright, well, we're coming out now.
Great mighty.
We're coming out.
You're coming out.
Yeah.
Okay, which way are you going? Because, if you tell us where you're going, we'll know where to send Theronax to send his minions to come and chat to you.
You sound like friends. We come to you.
Oh, well, we don't have the room for a horde of mighty warriors such as yourselves. Where have you been staying,
We found tunnels. We come from desert.
From the desert?
Yes.
You wouldn't remember the name of that desert, would you?
Yes. The desert.
The desert. The desert. That's good. That's good. It's a mighty desert that I've heard of it myself.
It has no name. It is near. Well, not near. Ilistandria is in the desert.
Ilistandria
is in the desert.
Do you come from where the king is?
Say again, James, didn't catch that.
You come from where the king was, or is?
They don't answer. Well, they do. They kind of look at each other like, yip, 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 yip. But they don't answer you in common.
So I speak Draconic.
I guess if, it'd be a good idea for you to choose one of these empty little storerooms here to bed down in. And then if we find Theronax today, we can let him know and he can send a messenger to you. How would that be?
You can make a persuasion roll.
I will do that, indeed. Let's try a persuasion roll. Does a 24 help?
Oh, yeah. They sort of look to each other and... We'll wait in here. Lots of food. Lots of wine.
Okay, try not to take too much. Whose is it? Does it have a note on the wall or anything saying whose it is?
Not this room, but Shani's just says, that is our personal stores.
It's your personal stores, Shani.
It's where we keep things so that the brass guard don't find it and try to tax us on it.
Right. So, I mean, could you run an errand to go quickly to the council and get this Theronax bloke?
Oh.
And let him know.
No, not me.
Let him know what's down in the tunnels.
No, bruv, not me.
Hey.
Not me.
Well, have you got anybody who's a bit simple in your organisation that you could maybe get to go and do? Drop a note under the door or something.
Well, Grandad could probably try. But it's whether or not he thinks we're up to something. If he thinks we're up to something, he ain't going to help. But he might, maybe.
Is some of this stuff your granddad's?
Well, probably something he's got stashed away down here, yeah. Most of what's down here is hiding it away from that, bronze guard. It hides it away from there, the brass guard, it hides it away from there, and they don't know about it, so we don't have to pay so much,
Well, how much is all this worth?
Oh, there's probably, a couple hundred golds worth of all sorts of different stuff down here. It's just we can't make it's a bit of like a, what would you call it? A black market.
I see.
Right. So we probably don't want Theronax coming down here to meet the kobolds then.
I wouldn't have thought that's a good idea, because if he knows us down here, we've done a pretty good job of keeping it quiet until now.
I think we just need to get to Theronax. And then we can go from there.
Right, let's go and knock on Theronax's door. He must be awake by now.
Still the wee hours.
Right, you lot sleep here. We'll go upstairs. The flesh bag here can get some more rest. And then, as soon as the sun comes up, we'll go and find Theronax
All right.
and tell him that you're in the city, and could he suggest a meeting place to have a word with you if he's interested.
She'll poke her head in the door of where these kobolds are and says, "Are you lot going to be any trouble?" No, no trouble. No trouble. Right. Can I go back to where I live? Because I don't really feel safe down here with these things.
I think that's probably a good idea for the now.
All right. I'll do that.
Let's all go up together, because, old Rolio here looks like he needs some beauty sleep. 2 or 3 years should do it.
You're funny.
You leave and return to the Red Oasis and finish out the night. It's the next morning.
Excellent.
Opal wakes up, finds you both. Guys, I could not sleep after all that.
Why?
I mean, do you have to sleep anyway?
Yes, I have to sleep.
Do you? I always thought people wouldn't have to sleep a lot.
Well, I do. No different than rodeo.
Really? Well, who would have thought it? That being, I think you are, a
Helping?
little bit.
I'm not undead, if that's what you mean.
Well, I thought you might have been a little bit undead.
No, not like that.
I mean, you're about 147, aren't you?
No.
Or older. Or older.
Shouldn't ask a lady her age.
I mean, if you were around the time of the old, event.
You know how
then
long that was.
It's quite a long time ago. So if you still need to sleep after all that time, then, there's something not quite right.
These are questions you can ask Baina when she's back. She just looks at you. For now, Opal looks at you and goes, "No, I must sleep."
Okay, right, so.
Need to go find Theronax.
I don't even understand the dead flesh bags.
No.
Sorry about that, Rolio.
It's fine. I got my sleep.
Right, so Theronax then. Sounds like something you'd pick up at the chemist.
It really does. It really does. But will he be at home or the council building?
Guess you have to go and find out.
I guess we could probably find the council building easy enough.
That's where the secretary was.
Yeah, and then we could ask, whether he's due in this morning or whether they could get a message to him quite speedily.
Well, you know where the council building is because you've already been there.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. We know where the council building is. We don't know where Theronax lives. So let's go to the council building. There's logic in my thinking there.
We'll head to the council building then.
Head to the council building. What was the name of the receptionist? It was Marnie, I think it was, if I remember right. Mina. The tiefling woman who was also a bit of, there seems to be a lot of perverts in this town.
Yes.
I think it's the water.
Could well be. You enter the council building, there's Mina behind the desk. She sees you walk in, she stands up. Oh, darlings. Oh, Rolio, yes, hello. How can I help you? Any news?
Not quite yet. We're just seeing if we can get an audience with Theronax before he starts his morning routine.
Oh, well, I think he's returned. But don't go telling him anything that he needs not hear. Remember?
No, 100%.
Don't go. There's certain things. Don't go mentioning it.
No. I've got you. Trust me.
Right.
What are we not allowed to mention to him?
Well,
Rumours.
don't talk about rumours, leaks. Remember?
I never talk about leguminous vegetables.
Right. None of that. And just obviously, he likes to think nobody knows he's a dragon. Just
Oh, right. Because part of the news that we've got to tell him is kind of important because he is a dragon.
well, you're going to have to find a way around that, aren't you? If that's the nature of your business.
It kind of is a little bit. But maybe we could put it to him that it's news he should know as a council member and a very important personage. And, if he should be interested in the news for another reason, then that's entirely up to him.
Right. Well, I'll take you through to his chambers. Just remember, be careful of what you say.
No rumours, no talking about onion-like vegetables. That's delicious when fried in butter.
Mm.
And leeks. That's right, isn't it?
Leaks.
No leeks.
No leaks.
No leaks, no dragons.
Right, I presume
Opal.
spring onions are okay.
Opal probably jumps in and goes, "What about blood?" Me don't know. No, don't. Why would you talk about blood? My goodness. Right, fine. In we go. And she takes you over and knocks on the door. And you hear Theronax from inside his chambers. And he goes, "Yes. I have some people here to see you. Apparently it's important business." "Well, bring them in, bring them in." And she opens the door. You can all walk in. You see Theronax is kind of like sat at a desk. The desk is against the wall, so it's not like you go in and you're then there's a desk between the two of you. There's like the desk against the wall. There's books and bookcases, like alchemy. There's all sorts of stuff in this room. Of a life well lived, long life well lived. And he sort of turns to you all and, "Yes, how can I help you?"
Kevin.
No, go ahead, Rolio. It's your turn. You're more diplomatic than I am.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
"I believe you came here to speak to me, not to joke in my presence."
Sorry about that. We was made aware of a group of kobolds in the tunnels.
Yes.
That's right. We thought it would be brought to an attention of the council.
I should mention Theronax, as you saw before, he's a very large humanoid, a man by all appearance, but way bigger than a man should be, like 10 feet tall. Flowing black hair, a tanned skin with these like red scales, patches of red scales here and there with like fletches of black in them. This flowing sort of like black and red robe with gold accents. His eyes kind of glow with fire almost. Because this is the first time you've actually really taken him in. And he is, I say, a formidable man. Massive shoulders, huge arms, big chest, and youthful in his appearance, but there are like scars and such on his like face. But that commanding, powerful voice and teeth in his mouth look sharp. He's a very strong jaw and pointed sort of nose.
Does he have the same features as Rondif?
Rondif was more stout. Rondif as a green, she was more stout, more portly. If anything, you would say, more of a friendly appearance.
Right.
But again, human, whereas Alora took the form of an elf. The telltale signs were always the eyes and like the little flecks of like scales here and there on the skin. But yeah, Theronax is, of all of them, colossal. Even in a humanoid form, he is colossal.
Mm. Okay. So yeah, we thought we'd bring it to a council member's attention. And who better than the highest?
I am not a high member of this council. I am just an advisor.
Well, you are quite tall.
He sort of like rolls his eyes. Yes, I am tall.
So height-wise, you're quite high in the council.
Yes, I suppose in that way I am, but I am not of the highest membership of the council. I am fairly low down. As I say, I am more of just an advisor.
So how
But
would
your word has a lot of gravitas to it.
Ah, you probably saw my little display in the street the other day.
It was mesmerizing, so it was.
Yes, there are people who get far too above their station. Sometimes they need putting back in their place. I use my authoritative presence to do this.
See, well, we thought it was our beholden duty to tell you about this little gang of kobolds, golden kobolds from the desert around
Illistandria.
Yes, they're from around there. But
Wait.
they've come to the city and they're hovering around the little tunnels and subways under the city there, scouting around. And quite often, they do respect people of a certain power. So it might be that you'd be able to control them.
When you say all of this, firstly his eyes sort of like pricked up at like kobolds. Once you start talking about the colour of them, he's almost completely taken aback. But once you start mentioning tunnels, he leans in and he's like sort of stroking his chin. Tunnels, you say? What tunnels are these?
just
Well,
the old
like
sewer systems and stuff like that?
Like the sewers and little storerooms underneath buildings, they're all
Storerooms? Sewers, I storerooms. As far as I was aware, there were no storerooms underneath buildings.
Mostly empty, I believe, closets and things. But they are hanging around there. We could, because you're a respectable person in the council, we could maybe communicate with them and get them to come out of those smelly, horrible sewer things.
What would
Those
kobolds be
rank places.
doing around here?
Well, that's what we don't know. They're not exactly, a full penny on the communications front, if you know what I mean. But maybe someone with a commanding presence such as yourself might be able to get a little bit more out of them.
Oh, I can't imagine they would listen to me. Strange little creatures. But creatures nonetheless.
They are. I mean, 8 of them in a little group scouting, but scouting for what?
Scouting,
could be quite
you
important
say?
to find out. Well, that's the word they used, I believe.
Strange. I wonder what for.
They didn't look much like scouts. They didn't have woggles or anything.
Well, it's all a very exciting piece of news. Especially after I received a letter just last night.
Oh, you got it, did you?
Was that from you?
Well, I certainly wrote you a letter. I don't know whether it was the letter you got, but I definitely wrote you a letter.
Friends of... now you have to remind me, did you say friends of Rondif or Alora?
I think we said friends of Rondith.
Friends
in the
of...
letter.
Friends of Rondif.
Yes, we are, yes.
Well, that changes things. I didn't expect to be in such esteemed company.
I wouldn't
How's
say
it going?
fiend. We had a meeting with Alora.
Alora!
Hmm.
Huh. To be friends with dragons, that puts you in a high position.
Well, dragon now.
Tell me, what do you know of this? Your comment, dragon, now.
Well,
Well, we know that Laura has sadly passed.
You see him, as you
And
say
that
that,
Rondif has gone to investigate the circumstances.
as you mention Alora's passing, you do see him sort of drop his head. But he's listening to the rest of what you're saying, and he sort of perks back up again.
So Rondif is still going strong in investigating the circumstances. But the last time we heard from her, she was going away from town, carrying a cow that we'd given her.
You gave her a cow. Which town was this?
Well-
Free.
Buffbury.
She's heading to our farm.
You gave her a cow. She mentioned she was going to meet with some adventurers.
That would be us.
We were able to use some communication stones to alert her to the fact that Alora had passed.
He stands up and sort of brushes past you and goes to the door and locks it. And then he casts a spell. And it's sort of, you sort of see that everything around you kind of goes into this glassy, shimmery kind of effect. Well, this will give us some privacy. Nobody shall be entering into this area until I release it. Well,
It's a great, massive hut.
it is a very big, massive hut.
That's impressive. I can only do a tiny hut.
Well, perhaps one day I could teach you this power to produce a greater hut.
That'd be great. But what was it you were going to say, esteemed council member?
Well, friends of Rondif, you know of Alora. Allow me to let you in on a small secret of mine. You may have noticed my stature is somewhat greater of your average man.
You are an impressive figure, it has to be said.
Thank you. But no mere man could ever reach proportions such as this. No, I am Theronax, one of the three. I am a red dragon. Well, my true form is of that of a red dragon. Though
No way.
I do not allow others to know of this.
We won't tell anyone else, don't you worry.
Give him a persuasion roll.
Mum's the word.
Hang on, I'm being quite sincere here. I just got to find my character sheet and the tabs there, because, you know.
We promise we won't tell anyone that doesn't know.
You can give him a persuasion roll if you like, with that sort of talk.
I only
Nice
managed
19.
an 8.
What did Rodeo get?
Oh, 18, sorry. Not 19, 18.
He nods to Rolio and he looks at Gottel and says, "This secret must never leave this room." He's going to make
It's alright with me.
He doesn't make a very impressive intimidation roll, so you both sort of like acknowledge each other and are probably a bit like, "Okay, yep, I'm not going to say anything," and he's like, "You better not, or you'll go to your room."
what you was gonna say to us?
Say again, sorry, James.
You look like you was going to tell us something, Theronax.
About my dragonkin ship.
Oh.
Yes. I am a red dragon.
I don't want to alarm you unduly, but there have been some rumours circulating around the town.
What rumours?
That you are a red dragon.
He takes a seat. He sort of leans right back in his seat. Who
Sorry
knows?
to break it to you. Like I say, it's little snippets of conversation and rumours. There's nothing concrete out there at the moment, and we certainly won't be, confirming anything for anybody.
Well,
I don't know why I've got a cough. I've got no bloody lungs.
I think at my earliest convenience, if people suspect, I should probably come out as dragon.
It's entirely up to you. I mean, like I say, it's rumours at the minute. Nothing massively, But I think with your stature and the little bits and scales here and there, people might be just.
I cannot have rumours. My pride would not allow it. I must inform the public. Now,
Why, if you are such a powerful red dragon, haven't you taken over this place?
it's not our way.
Yeah, but
Surely
the
Alora
way of
or
the
Rondith.
council.
Surely
It's not going the right way.
Surely Alora
It's
or
absolutely
Rondith
fine.
have explained this to you. If you are truly friends of theirs, we are not here to be rulers. Only a few of us came through from the Fae. When
More of a guiding hand, weren't you, there?
Exactly. When Pixis started to populate this world with peoples from different planes, we came through with the elves from the Feywild. We were gifted this place as a new opportunity as advisors. We advised many kings, queens, and now we sit upon councils. Well, two of us do.
You knew Pixis.
Pixis. Pixis was the creator of this world.
Yes.
Belonged to a
Pixis
race.
was the creator of the world.
He belonged to a race, or they belonged to a race known as the Creators. They were gods beyond gods, is the only way I can describe it. They created the gods that watch over these worlds now, in this material plane.
Can I make Pixis appear in my hand to see if he reacts to the dragon?
You take the hilt out and summon the blade, which is, I believe, still a short sword at this point. At which point he sort of is taken aback by it, and he says, "This weapon you carry, I sense great power. May I?" As he reaches out a hand, and you see his hand. It's a human hand, but the palm is almost very lizard-like, scaled. You could call it like heavily calloused, but again, it's scaly.
Yeah, I'll do the I flip it and then hand him the hilt first.
Do not fear. This blade could not wound my flesh. And he takes it and he examines it. And he seems to cast something. You don't know what it is. And he closes his eyes and he sort of spends a bit of time sort of flicking it around in his hand. A great weapon. I sense the spirit of something in this weapon. It is sentient.
Yeah, I think it's Pixis himself. Or themselves.
Pixis was attacked by another one of these creators eons ago. Not long after we were brought here. He resisted them. We never knew anything more of them. But I believe the spirit of Pixis is bound up in this material.
I don't think it's just this bit either, and I'll show him the glaive.
He looks at the glaive. I do sense the same arcane essence within it.
I think Pixis might have been split up. I found another bit and it joined this blade.
Interesting. What part of this spear do you believe?
Well, the blacksmith found an opening, but he couldn't get it open, and Rixie couldn't get it open with any spells either.
They believe it is a mechanical opening.
Yes.
Very
But
well.
he thinks it's got a high level spell on it.
Theronax eyes it up, and he finds the point where perhaps it was screwed together, but then obviously magically sealed. There is a magical ward on this.
Yes, what Rixie said.
I will attempt to dispel it. And he starts channeling arcane energy into it. For all my ability, I cannot. I'll let you both roll this. Both of you roll a d20.
12.
It's coming.
Hopefully not in public.
3.
Yeah, with what he rolled, he's channeling energy. I believe I could break the ward with magic and might. And he starts grasping it, and he's twisting and twisting and twisting. You see it start to glow up with this arcane energy. But it just like fizzles out. And he just goes, I do not understand what it is about this shaft, but I cannot break it.
No, no one seems to be able to.
There may yet be a way. Do not be disheartened. Keep it in your possession. I will think upon it and see what I can come up with.
Okay. That's absolutely
For some reason, the chair that I'm sat upon seems to be sinking. I'm going to have to pull the lever to bring it back up.
So, what do you want us to do about these kobolds?
Ah, yes, the kobolds. And all the excitement I almost forgot. What colour did you say their scales were?
Bronzy gold?
He rubs his chin. It is... Kobolds are of the Feywild, much as we are. And the elves. A few other creatures that came here. It's not unlikely that they would would have arrived here. Kobolds are. Have you seen them before on your travels?
I've only heard of them. First time seeing them.
They came here. They are great servants of the dragons. But, of course, there aren't many of us here. They became nomadic tribes. Intelligent creatures. Many would have classed them as monsters and killed them. But they are intelligent creatures. As I say, they make great draconic servants. They live to serve, if anything. I am concerned that they are here. They could well be drawn to me. Where they've come from, I couldn't possibly say, but they could well be drawn to me. But you say they were bronzy coloured.
Yes.
Bronzy gold. Right. Let's say rose gold.
Did they mention anything about serving a master?
They said they served a boss. And they came from the desert around Alexandria.
When I mentioned the king, they went quiet.
I didn't seem to have anything on their mind other than food and sleep at that point, though.
Well, it is at this particular juncture I feel a history lesson might be prominent. I mentioned I am one of the free. Myself and Rondif and Elora. But when we were brought here, there was one more upon the Draconic Council. Goldorn. A bronze dragon. Elora and Rondif, as great as they are not quite as ancient as myself. Goldorn, you could combine the ages of myself, Rondif, and Elora, and you would still come very short of Goldorn. It is said Goldorn was there in the beginning. Goldorn came with us, the leader of our council. Though it soon became clear he wished to exploit and bring misery and pain and suffering. It took the combined might of myself, Elora, and Rondif to contain him within a prison. A demi-plane, which we took out into the sands of this desert and we buried it deep. Nobody knew the location.
And would that desert be out by Alexandria? Sorry about that?
Alexandria did not exist at that time. So yes, it was roughly within the vicinity. It is possible somebody has discovered his prison. It was
that sounds quite bad.
a physical artifact, not big. There is a magical creation, a sack called a bag of holding. It's not particularly common these days, but we created a similar artifact to contain Goldorn Inn. And it was big on the inside, small on the outside. And like I said, we buried it deep. These kobolds, if they speak of a master, and they do not mean me, and they do not mean Rondif or Elora, there is only one other dragon left on Amion that they could be speaking of. And if they are speaking of him as a master, then I am incredibly fearful for what this might mean.
Right. So, would it be a good idea or a bad idea for you to talk to them to get some, information?
I could speak with them, but if they are oath-bound to this master, they will not speak. However, if they are lying, if they are being deceitful, they may reveal all to me if they do not actually truly have a master.
Can we just get one of them to come up?
I don't think 8 kobolds would be a massive threat to a red dragon of Theronax's power.
You speak too kindly. I think more of the alarm of the people of the sound.
That's what I was thinking. We can hide one. Put a cloak
We could
on
perhaps
one.
bring them up after dark and bring them up in a barrel or something.
He waves his hand. No. The peoples of this town, the city, are varied. It should be okay. Bring them to me, and I will ascertain, what their true intentions are.
Okay, we can go get 'em.
Right, so you want us to just bring them up for you?
Yes, bring them here. He
To here, or do you want a neutral venue?
No, here he snaps his fingers. The spell goes down that created this sort of bubble. He leans out and says, Mina! Mina! And she comes, yes, Theronax. My friends here will be bringing some creatures to the council chambers. They look draconic. Do not be alarmed and allow them through. Yes, my lord. And she sort of leads you out the building. It's up to you. What you want to do now?
Let's go get some dragons. Or kobolds.
Yes, we go and persuade them to come upstairs and,
Yeah. Okay.
tell them there's a picnic waiting for them in the meeting room.
Yeah, so you go back down to the tunnels, and the way you left them, really, in the room with all the food. Unfortunately, they have drank an entire cask of wine between them. And so what you come down to is a bit of a garbled mess of no.
Oh dear.
The big boss of the city sends his greetings to the mighty warriors and would like you to come up and meet him. There's a buffet and everything.
Ready now.
Top quality nosh. There might be a kebab.
Yeah. And they all come tottering out, stumbling about the place and falling over each other. Boss!
Kebab's this way.
Boss kebab, bab.
Have you not got anything
It's
that can cure drunkenness? There, got all.
8 hours rest and a shitload of water.
I was thinking more of the magician side of things with you.
No, I'm a bard, not a fucking miracle worker.
Yeah, I haven't got anything.
I mean,
Good
I could
berry.
play the bagpipes to them, but I don't think that'd help an awful lot.
Yeah, good berry.
Let's just get them up in this state. They'll be a lot less, able to be rambunctious and deceptive and all that kind of jazz in this state. Let's just get them up there to speak to,
Theronax.
his holy sanitary products.
Sweet, let's do them.
Yeah,
If you want to take a lead, and I'll stay at the back to keep them organised.
you lead them. It takes a bit of time because they are staggering about.
It's a bit like herding cats.
And as well, there is so you go up through that hatchway by the fountain. And Zubar's sat there washing his feet, and he sees you come up, and he nods, and then he sort of double takes as all these drunken kobolds come spilling out of the hatchway, and he just sort of nods his head. He goes, "Oh no, what is this madness now? It must surely be a shani." And he just watches them all come staggering out, and they're falling over themselves. And one of them goes, "Yeah." At him.
I look at Subar, I was like, it's not a shiny.
Don't worry, so we're just taking them to the council.
I can tell it's not a shani. This is not a shani.
No.
I don't know what this is, but this is not a shani.
No.
What
this
is a
not
shani? What have
doing.
you done to a shani?
Last time I heard, you were in a home.
Oh, good.
Yeah, right, we'll carry on back to the council.
Yeah, so you're leading a horde of drunken kobolds.
Well, it's a small gang of drunken kobolds. That's
to
right.
meet with a dragon.
Yep.
Yes, it seems reasonable.
Okay. You take them in. Mina's kind of looking a bit concerned as you come through, but she, doesn't stop you. You go back to Theronax's chambers, and yeah, he sort of watches them all come staggering in.
We did tell him there was 8 of them, and he just said bring them, so we did.
He sort of looks at them, and then sort of maybe a few of them fall over onto the floor and start snoring. And what on earth is this? Is this a joke?
Well, they are kobolds, aren't they, Your Honour?
Why are they drunk?
Well, in the time we were talking to you, they got into some wine.
Oh my god. Well, what am I to do with them in this state?
I mean, we could try dunking them in the fountain.
Could try dunking them in the fountain. Mind you, they always say the drunken mind releases the greater truths.
It does indeed. You say that on the sleeve.
They're certainly not going to be able to make up very convincing lies.
Very well. What would you like to ask them? What should we ask them?
Well, I did ask them who they served, but they didn't really answer that with any degree. They just said, boss.
Where they came from either.
Which one was their leader?
They didn't really answer. This one here, I think.
Yeah, Bubble Up. He goes over to your bubbler, but who's sort of
Mr.
like
Yabba Lubba.
he sort of sat on.
Mr. Yabba
I say
Baba.
sat. He sort of slumps on the floor, and he reaches his hand underneath the kobold's chin, and he lifts it up to look him in the eyes. He says, "You there?" And this kobold, it's almost like. Have you ever been drunk, tipsy, and something shocking happens, and all of a sudden you feel sober?
Yes.
This
Yeah.
kobold like snaps out of it. He says, "Oh, master! I am not your master. Do you currently have a master?" And the kobold's darting eyes around it. He just doesn't know where to look. Doesn't know what to say. Theronax says, "I could crush your skull. Tell me, do you have a master?" I'm going to roll, see if he gives up the information.
Your master.
He looks Theronax dead in the eye and he goes, "No, master. No, master. You, master? Yeah. Theronax
I mean,
lets him go and he looks at you.
Ion's insight check.
Yeah.
Kobold at that point.
Yeah.
Give me a bit of an insight. Blast if I can get my mouse pointer to go onto there. And roll a check. Come on. Oh, it's a mighty 8. I look him right in the eyes and I see eyes.
It's even less than what Theronax rolled. Theronax didn't roll any better. Really. These kobolds are hiding something, I just know it. Perhaps it would help if they could behold my true form.
I don't think that's going to fit in this room.
No, it wouldn't.
I mean, you know, would it be any help if I offered you some bardic inspiration there to help you out a little bit right corner?
If you have magical spells to help us ascertain the truth, then I'm
But
all
if you asked
for
him
it.
again, I could, you know, do some bardic inspiration there and give you some filibustering, or even, you know, I could help you with it. We could work together on him. 2 sets of eyes are better than 1 when ferreting out a lie.
I just feel if the whole town apparently knows my secret, I might as well come out of it and show them all.
Like I say, it's only rumours we've heard. I don't think it's been confirmed.
In that case, let us pursue our questioning of these creatures.
Yubba lub, me old fella, me old fruit. What was the name of your master? You know, the one that you said. It's completely slipped my mind. It's on the tip of my tongue. You know, the old master there that you serve.
Me?
What's his name?
I'm master.
No. You're the master of this gang, but there's a bigger boss that you go back to.
No.
You said the name once.
No.
You did. Oh, yes, you did.
No, actually, he didn't tell you the name of the master.
I know he didn't tell me the name of the master. I'm trying to persuade him.
Well, give us a
that he told
persuasion
me
roll
the name
then.
of the master.
If you're trying to persuade him, let's have a persuasion.
Okay, where's persuasion? It's under there. Let's have a little see.
In fact, with Theronax's presence, you can have advantage.
Excellent. Well, I'll roll that one again because the first one was a 12. The second one was 16.
No, master. I'm master. Yabba dabba dab, master.
Yabba lubba master. Well, that's good.
I'm so sorry, but I rolled a nat 20 for him to get past it.
It's all right. I'm trying to come. You know, back in the days of the desert, there, There was Yubba Lubba Lub, and you decided to come out here all on your own from the desert.
Yes, nomadic we are.
Nomadic. Well,
Tribal.
that would certainly. Tribal.
And we
And you're
find
the
master.
head of the whole. Find master in the desert.
Find master.
In the desert. You found master in the desert. Is that right?
No, we'd not find master yet. We are looking for master. This master? Are you pointing at Theronax?
Well, he's a very important council member, but I wouldn't go as far as to say master. I mean, he's not.
It is not uncommon for these creatures to seek out any draconic being they can. They could genuinely be searching around and have come across myself. It is not.
They did say they
Kobolds.
they were scouting though, so I presume that's for somebody else.
Kobolds tend to stick to their own chromatic colours. But if they come across a dragon they can serve, they will do. If they were in our vicinity and they sensed my presence, they could well have been looking for me. And the Yubbalub's on the floor, like, nodding. He's nodding like, yeah, master.
Wouldn't they call that searching, not scouting? Scouting implies they've been sent to search for something.
Very Indeed. True. And he's just there going, master, and he's pointing at Theronax. I'm going to make a deception roll. It was a nat 1. You can tell, like before, he is lying through his teeth to try and get out of trouble. Even Theronax is at this point looking at him going, there is something more about you, isn't there?
There is.
Can you stop being so diplomatic about this? Can I grab the kobold by the tail?
You want to grab him by the tail?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you're lying. Talk to me.
No lies.
Do insight?
Yeah.
Well, we all do know is lying.
You already know he's like. If you want to insight him, you can. At this point, let me make a roll. Where's my D20 gone? Oh, it's there. Yeah. You have. I'm going to give you a free action to do something. Otherwise, Theronax is going to do something fairly drastic to get out of them.
Okay, I'm going to go along the lines of intimidating him.
Yeah, I was going to pull my blade out and put it next to the base of his tail.
You see, what you see is in preparation for this, Theronax grabs another one by the head. Tell me now. You two can choose to do what you want to do.
I'll go with intimidating Yubbalub and say, tell him now for God's sake, or we'll be forced to do something fairly drastic, and you won't like it, Yubbalub, because no leader wants to lose any of their troops, do they now?
Make the roll.
I do have my blade on his tail.
It's for 26 on an intimidation roll.
Nice. Okay. Rodeo?
I was just saying I have my blade at the end of his tail, so to help him, but he doesn't need the help.
With your intimidation, he looks over at his companion, who Theronax is very, even with just human hands, has grasped the skull of this creature, and you can see they're under an immense pressure, and they're sort of squirming. And Yubbalub says, Goldhorn! Goldhorn! Theronax instantly releases the other one. Goldhorn, you say? He's the master. He's the master. And what are you doing here? We were hungry. Scouting for food. But he is our master. Well, there we have it. Goldorn.
Why are you so far away from your master?
He looks over to you and he just says, Scouting party. We help. We are of the Gilded Scale. We help the Brass Guard. We just got hungry, went looking for food, found tunnels.
So you're with the Brass Guard, but you serve Goldorn.
Yes, cult, Gilded Scale. It is for
Where
his
is Goldorn?
dragon kind. Say again, James.
Where is Goldron? Where is Goldron?
Good question. He comes and he goes. He is here and he is there. Some believe he is more of a spirit than a physical being.
Do you mean he's been quite near to this city then?
I don't think he's been in the city, no.
Serve him from a distance.
He does not serve. He manipulates.
No, you serve him.
Ah, yes, we serve.
Goldorn.
Yes.
Do you know if Goldron's been to Alessandria?
Goldorn is Alessandria these days.
See. And how do you serve Goldorn exactly?
His presence is felt throughout the land. Our kind we serve. We feel him. We come to him.
So you serve like a society of Goldorn then? Culty club sort of thing.
Yes, Gilded Scale.
Gilded Scale. Not had any particular contact with Goldorn yet, directly, you know.
Not me, no.
You know, someone that you know.
Priests speak with Goldorn.
Priests of the cult, of course, they would. And you know, where would they be if you wanted to, you know, maybe join the cult?
Ha 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 ha. You cannot join cult. You are not like us.
Or shiny, right?
Same colour.
Silver coloured, that's pretty close.
Theronax looks at you, bearing in mind obviously Opal's here as well. They have given us much information.
But the sounds of it, Goldron's got his hooks in Alessandria.
There is, however, a problem. They cannot now be allowed to leave.
So I would suggest some sort of protective custody arrangement. And if they serve the Brass Guard, is well, you might want to keep them separate from them too.
They're sort of like looking about, darting eyes, they're like, oh fuck, what's going to happen? And he just snaps his fingers again. And that same sort of isolation chamber that you guys were in, he encircles them in it. And they cannot come out of that. no one can hear what's going on inside of it, much like when you were in it a moment ago. And he sort of says to you, I believe the safest option would be to kill them. It pains me to say this, because kobolds are not evil creatures. They are often misguided, but they are dangerous now.
If you do kill them, that does remove the chance of getting any further information.
Do you believe there is further information to gain from them? I believe they are a danger if they leave here. God knows what they could tell whoever they're serving.
Well, it's your city, Theronax, you know. It's your home place. The place you call home, so I guess we'll be guided by you on that. But certainly that they serve the Brass Guard. Which one is it again? Is it Brass Guard or Bronze Guard?
Brass Guard, unless I've got that wrong, it was Bronze Guard from your previous notes.
No, I was just getting confused.
There's so many different names of factions in this place. Give me 2 seconds and I will tell you what it was called. Because I might be wrong myself. I realised last session as well, I was saying Ishari. Ishari was the sea captain. Ishani is the girl. The Brass Guard are the Royal Enforcers, yeah.
Because you serve the Brass Guard as well, and that hints at some, goings on there. There aren't any Brass Guard here in this city, are there?
Yeah. Just let them away.
They come and they go. We have our own militia, but Brass Guard come and they go. People don't think I realise, but there is a understanding some bizarre shipments are made between the port and this Illustandria. It is not the nature of the time. People would assume that, it goes on at night, therefore it must be a problem, but the desert is much cooler at night, therefore it makes more sense to ship things from A to B that way. And of course, Illustandria needs supplies. It's the fact they send these Brass Guard. As I say, it is widely believed I do not know about this, but I know more than what I think people let on. And clearly they know more than what I let on.
I've just got a sneaking suspicion that Goldron has got his claws into the royalty at Alessandro.
Yes, I'm beginning to think you could well be right.
No, I don't mean to be cause any kind of prejudice or the whole rumours of the king getting greedy, hoarding the gold.
Do you know? You know my name. I don't actually know yours.
Relia. This is Gottel and our little friend there's Opal.
Hi! Good. Well, nice to meet you all. I should have known better with my manners to have made sure we were all well acquainted before any of this, but... Well...
It's a lot of stuff to get through with you, We wanted to deal with the forest problem quite quickly there for you, so,
Yes. Next steps, I believe, is what's required.
I think we need to check out Alessandro.
Quite possibly, but first of all, we've got to decide what to do about these kobolds here, because I guess they can't stay in that little room forever.
Well, he goes over to a desk and he opens a drawer and he pulls out this artifact. Let's just say they won't be a problem anytime soon. And he snaps his fingers and this bubble sort of collapses. It goes into this artifact. And he puts it in his drawer and he shuts the drawer and he locks it. They are now, well, much as their apparent master was, in a pocket dimension, where they cannot do any harm.
Hopefully not the same one.
Not the same one.
It's alright then. They wouldn't want them carrying any messages back, you know, that you didn't want to get through.
Exactly.
So what do you suggest then? Let's we cut our time in this town short and go elsewhere.
I mean, I
Well,
think that whole issue with the taxes is coming from Alessandria.
the tax issue is coming from Illistandria. If Goldorn
We don't know what.
is behind this, it would make sense. They were always greedy. And certain dragons' nature is to hoard gold and wealth. It would make sense. He never agreed, as we did, to be advisors rather than rulers. He almost went his own separate way.
So how do we get to Alessandria?
Alessandria is a long trek through the desert, and not an easy one. It's
I hate
dangerous.
getting sand in my.
You hate getting sand where?
Well, pretty much everywhere it grates and gouges. You end up with a fine buffing sheen afterwards, but it chafes.
Well, we could always get a lift off the dragon.
A lift off of the drag. You mean me?
Yes,
I'm not a taxi service.
No.
but this isn't a taxi. This is to help your country.
There are creatures we use to traverse the deserts, but you are advised to go at night and take plenty of water.
WD-40.
I do not know what that is, but if it helps, then yes.
It's like a muscle rub for Warforged. Splash it all over.
Well, if
Now,
it
what do we
makes you
think?
happy.
Do we want to go to Alessandria or?
Well, if that's what Theronax suggests, then that's certainly worth think of. It's worth. Is there any way of communicating this with Rondif across the old ride there?
I
Any
would
long
not
distance
recommend.
communication method?
I would not recommend going to Alessandria. If Goldorn is there and your mission is uncovered, I would not expect to see you again.
We'd be a bit overmatched, to be sure.
A message to Rondith. Where did you say she was? Orifan. Well, there is only one way of getting a message to Orofan. I would have to go there myself. It is the fastest way.
You not got any of them speaking stones that Wonder has?
No. Not with a range like that, anyway.
So what would you advise we do next?
To confront Goldron took all three of us. Now we are only two.
Technically 5.
I admire your spirit, but you are no dragon.
Right.
You could go to Alexandria, posing as merchants, if you want to find out the truth. What we do with that truth, I don't know. Perhaps an opportunity will arise while you are there. If I go, it would be too obvious.
That truth, or is, I mean, obviously when the scouting party disappears, other people might be sent to the town. If you're going to go to Urfarn, then is it perhaps up to us to guard against kobold incursion here?
I do not believe it would be a problem if a scouting party does not return. They are too cowardly a race to be sending out more. They would accept their fate and move on.
Unless they are actually trying to pinpoint you.
It is true they could be. This is the first I've heard of it.
Could they have been responsible for the Lady Aurora's death?
The
Or a similar
kobolds.
party?
Kobolds, no. But Goldorn,
Brass Guard, though.
no, they wouldn't have reason to. They are
If they're part of this cult,
a part of this cult, it would seem. But they were also guard loyal to the king. They could well have been bullied into something, but no, I would suspect if anybody was behind it, it would be Goldorn. Goldorn is the only one with any motive to kill another dragon.
well, that's right. If he's the head of the cult, then that makes sense that he'd get rid of you for showing his face.
Yes, perhaps.
I think you've got to put yourself on high alert and be careful in watching your back and all that stuff.
Definitely.
And also get the news through to Rhonda. If she's in a place where the other dragon died, presumably other agents of chaos there.
I wouldn't worry about Rondif. She was the warrior amongst us.
Lady Allura.
Allura was more the mage. Rondif is the warrior.
And you?
Myself, I am more a blend of the both. Able sorcerer.
I think Rhonda must be warned, and if you're the fastest way of getting the warning, it sounds.
Agreed.
I could certainly make arrangements with the council to take some leave. As I said, I am only their advisor. I don't actually make any laws or rules. But I do help enforce them.
Yeah, well, I think that's the plan then. We go to Alexandria dressed as merchants.
If we get discovered, we're up shit creek without a paddle.
You've got a very good disguise kit. No one knows what we actually look like. No one even knows who we are.
Well, I have got a disguise kit. I mean, 1 minute I could be an umbrella stand, the next minute I could be a pedal bin, coal scuttle.
We wouldn't be known on this continent. We're barely known at Port Spring.
And quite well known. Comedy circuit.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever performed out in Alexandria.
be fine. Like if we were like well known, there might be a question, but we're just nobodies.
Besides that, try and get some more information about these folk.
But it would take a couple of days to get prepared anyway, surely.
Let's take a breather. Have a ponder. And come back to it next time.
Yes, because it is the end time. So let's have, obviously, hopefully next time we'll have a Bane back with us, and you can decide on your next actions. There's a lot to be decided. We leave it with you guys in Theronax's office, deciding on your next moves. And some kobolds stuck in a pocket dimension. A bit like, what was the one from Superman?
The third dimension, wasn't it?
They're all stuck in a little square, aren't they? Flying through space.
Phantom Zone, it was.
Yes, yeah.
Phantom Zone.
Yeah. A bit like that. Kobolds stuck in the Phantom Zone.
Mirror dimension was Doctor Strange. What am I about?
So yeah, thanks very much. Obviously, it's been a little bit less action-packed because we're down a member, but thanks for watching, thanks for listening, thanks for playing, guys. And I'm going to give a little shout out.
Sometimes you need some exposition.
No, I think we've set ourselves up for a good session next time. You've learnt a few things, uncovered a few things. I was a little bit concerned when I said don't go in saying anything you shouldn't say to Theronax, but then I think Cottle went straight in with "There's tunnels, there's tunnels."
The war. I mentioned the war once, but I think I got it.
No, great. Little shout out, Pocket Bard. Please do go and check out Pocket Bard. We've done a little review for them recently on TikTok, and they received it rather well. So please do go check them out. They are well worth it. Obviously, all the music and sound effects you hear while we're playing this, or Lass of the Summer Strahd, are all courtesy of Pocket Bard. So yeah, go check them out. Thanks, guys. Have a nice evening, and see you.
Thank you for running.
You're most welcome. See you soon.
Well, thank you, Mike.
Yeah, see you in 2 weeks for this one, and 1 week that touches Yorkshire.
Touch of Yorkshire. See you later. Good night.
Night.